we go to our all collections. And in here we want to set up our various sources. So to add a new collection source, we click on our sources. And we want to add a new one. Now the information that we had a while ago we will also need again. So our source name is going to be called O365 demo. And we wanted the type. We have various different sources we can collect from the eDiscovery platform, but we're going to select the Office 365, and here we will also need a tenant ID, app ID, and client secret. So we have that from when we set up with Azure. So the tenant ID is this line. Just paste it in here. The app ID and our client secret. Now if you have access groups, obviously you populate this area here. Now that it's done and set up, we can give it a description if you wish to. TFE demo for O365 collections. And once it's done, we hit save. And now we have our new source, which is our TFE demo environment right here. So once this is done, we next want to do is do collections. So we go to our collections, and we add a new collection. We give it a collection name, call it TFE demo. I'll give it a description. Let's call this for O365 as well. It's more descriptive. We can select a default location where we want to collect our data to. So let's use this location that's here already. And if there's a case, we can assign it to a case. But in this case, we're not going to do it. We're not going to have a case. So we hit save. And we're going to add our new source in here. So in our collection, we're going to say we want an Office 365. And we're going to use the one that we created, which is the TFE demo for Office 365. Now, the UI has changed compared to other collections, because this is the first introduction of the new UI that's coming up for collections, and that we're making further changes within the product. Now, in this environment, for collecting for Office 365, in the past you had to collect from different sources separately. Because it's Office 365, and because we have the client ID and so on set up, and a secure secret, we can collect from multiple sources within Office 365 at the exact same time. So the first thing you're going to get presented with your source name, which is obviously our Office 365 demo environment. A description, we can give it a description if you want to. Now you have two tick boxes. You have Exchange and OneDrive. Now you will also notice that there's some other areas, which when these tick boxes are enabled, these various options are turned on. So when you turn off Exchange, obviously there's nothing to collect from. But when you turn them on, you get drop downs that have unique areas that are unique to that source. And you also have OneDrive. If you scroll down here, you can see that there's a OneDrive area as well, where you can populate information from OneDrive. Now, the common filters are filters that apply across both media types, so both Exchange and OneDrive, such as keywords and so on. So if you do common filters, we have date ranges, which are dates on or before, or dates between. We also have keywords. Now, the keywords can be a full Boolean search of keywords. So they can be, you can use and, or, not, and near phrases, and they must be in uppercase. You can also use other logical operators that have to be in capital letters. Special characters, the asterisk and the question mark, as they are wildcards. If no operator is used between the two words, then the two words will be considered a phrase, such as money and market, not, and uppercase not, broker or investor. So if you do money market, that's a phrase. If you do MONE and asterisk, they give you the ability to use wildcards. And if to use a near statement, you say money, near, and in a bracket you specify the near number, which how many words it's near within 10 of the word market. So we can actually do searching in here with various keywords. The location, which is by default is highlighted to because we already selected that location. This is where the collection is going to be sent to. We have the option to turn on compression, and just like we do with the other collection features within the eDiscovery platform, we can do custodian assignment. So now that we've enabled both filters, we can search both of the media types, so both Exchange and OneDrive. So let's select the dates for the last month or so. Let's say dates on or after, and we select the date of mid-July. So in my search, I'm going to specify the keywords, which is this word I'm looking for. The owner is going to be, let's say, Naveen. I'm going to search for participants in the criteria. I'm going to say do not filter emails that have attachments. Hit save and start and run my search. So the status is submitted. So we're getting, it has been submitted to the system, and it will shortly start the search. The details of the search can be found here. This is in the jobs menu. You see it's rolling around here. You can click on jobs, expand it. You see that it's running. I click here. I get more information about the job that has been submitted. So as you see here, the number of items have been collected so far. So I'm just going to skip ahead and let this finish running, and then we'll come back to it in a few moments. So now that the job is completed, we have 94.2 megabytes of data has been collected and 283 items in total. And we can see the status of the job, as I said, already up here. It disappears. We can click on the success of the job here. We get some details on the completion of the job, and this is exportable. Now once the collection is done, you take this data and you process it into your case as you would normally, but it gives you the ability to collect, to not only sync from Office 365 users, so you have Active Directory in the cloud. We can synchronize your Active Directory in the cloud now as part of 9.5.1. We can also turn around and collect your data sources from Office 365 in one search. Right now we have Exchange and OneDrive, but we are going to be adding other sources such as Teams. And one other tip in regards to your sources. Let's go to all collections again. There is the ability, there are so many threads we can open per app ID, so it is possible to set up more than one app ID for a source. And so when we have here our Office 365 and we have our demo environment, we have one app ID and one client secret set up, but it is possible to add more than one app ID and with a matching client secret. And to do this, you go through the process that I've already outlined at the beginning, and by repeating this and adding up to 3 at the moment, and we are evaluating the possibility of more, it actually gives you higher throughput and more threads through to the cloud, to your Office 365 environment, therefore speeding up your collections. So we are still sizing and investigating how big we can grow to the point that where it no longer adds benefit, but that has been investigated right now. But you can actually do multiple app IDs to allow you to do different connections to the cloud to actually increase your throughput and your collection performance when collecting from Office 365.